What's up, you guys? Today's animated series review is about a man battling his inner demons, finding a cure to his altered lifestyle while keeping the ones he loves protected and away from the chaos he leaves behind, especially when being chased by the military due to his angered, altered ego, and I'm talking about The Incredible Hulk. The Hulk, the animated series, aired in 1996, containing 2 seasons with a total of 21 episodes. Our story begins with a well-known scientist named Bruce Banner, whose main objective is to find a cure for his transformations after accidentally being hit with gamma radiation. Seeing how this unfortunate turn of events allows him to turn into this wild big green beast, otherwise known as the Hulk, the military winds up in search for his whereabouts because his untamed nature and sporadic destruction and rage can be dangerous to humanity and a threat to the world. Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, is then aided with some help by his love interest Betty Ross, alongside her partner Doc Samson and his only best friend, Rick Jones. But when it comes to the hero allies when things get out of control, you have characters like Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, James Rhodes, aka War Machine, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange, Thor, The Thing, Sasquatch, and his cousin Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, to help. Then you also have the Gamma Creature cave dwellers, as well as some on and off allies like S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Gabriel. As for the villains, you have the Leader, Gargoyle, his right-hand man, Abomination, Zax, Doctor Doom, Wendigo, Scimitar, and the Gamma Warriors with Ogress. And last you have Glenn Talbot, who's always seeking for Betty's attention, and General Ross, Betty's father, who wants to put an end to the Hulk and throughout the whole show continues to chase him down no matter what the consequences are. Throughout the first season, Bruce is practically always on the run, Hulk smashing his way from state to state by traveling from California to New York, Canada, and Mexico. Although a few altercations with the military causes some intense battle scenes and pinpoint locations on where he's actually heading next, like the first season of Iron Man and the Fantastic Four, it offers little to no effort in storytelling, as some episodes can be dragged with repetitive scenarios or lack of interest. Aside from all the cool action scenes or some emotional aspects where the Hulk feels lonely or has no friends he can trust, we do get to see the romantic behavior between Bruce, Betty, and the Hulk, as she's the only one who can really calm him down, especially during heated moments when he's captured. Even though Rick Jones is a supporting friend, we soon learn that he's the reason this all happened, as a flashback scenario shows us how during an experiment with gamma radiation, Rick happened to be riding his bike at the test site for no reason, thus causing Bruce to put his life at risk to save him. Because of this, Rick vows he owes Bruce regardless what trouble he's in. One of the things I liked is how there's a subtle tie into the Iron Man animated series from years prior, where at the end of Bruce's early interaction, Tony mentioned he can always count on him for help. Now being in present day, although not fully canon, they do utilize that concept by having Bruce head to Stark Enterprises, seeking for technological help to transform him back to a normal human. Even if things don't go as planned per se, seeing Iron Man vs. the Hulk is always entertaining nonetheless. But that's not the only heroes he gets into a brawl with, as the Hulk also fights Thor, Doc Samson, and the returning Ben Grimm, aka The Thing from the Fantastic Four, reliving their past beef from the animated series prior. The Leader, on the other hand, is practically useless aside from his own origin story and solely wants to capture the Hulk to gain his powers. And despite Gargoyle having his own agenda wanting to be normal again, showcasing how his origins are, these two basically get nowhere throughout the whole series. In one instance, the Leader actually gets a hold of the Hulk's powers and becomes his dominant force, but later realizes just how much he's not prepared for that kind of energy. General Ross eventually loses his mind and goes obsessive over the Hulk that he ends up having no choice but to either work with him sometimes or frankly ignore the fact that he's going apeshit. By the time you get to season 2, you'd think the series would turn darker and edgier like the previous animated series. Unfortunately, it goes in reverse order. With ratings suggesting that the show was too dark, the show takes a turn for a lighter and brighter tone as Bruce is no longer a fugitive or searching for a cure and takes the back seat, with She-Hulk becoming more of a prominent character containing more storylines and episodes. Thus, they end up renaming the show to The Incredible Hulk and She-Hulk. And not to mention, the graphics also change, but not really for the best. In Season 1, we were shown the origins of She-Hulk and how her and Bruce travel together to safety. However, she eventually stays back in New York and returns in Season 2. The Hulk isn't the only thing that gets sidetracked. The relationship between Betty and Bruce has drifted as if they're no longer together, Doc Samson disappeared, and Rick barely shows up in any episodes. And speaking of Rick, because of him, an experiment gone wrong causes Bruce to not only still be the Hulk, but also debuts as the Grey Hulk, or in this case, Mr. Fix-It. With the story focusing more on She-Hulk, she practically goes through her own situations like almost losing her powers, going into a fashion show befriending the fashion warriors, acting as a lawyer, and wanting to be in a Hollywood movie. By the end of the series, S.H.I.E.L.D. practically takes over the military in wanting to stop the Hulk, or Grey Hulk for that matter, and General Ross learns he can't win, especially how his daughter Betty constantly defends the Hulk, which is an ongoing theme seeing how her love for Bruce and his hatred for Bruce causes a rift in their relationship. So with that, he suggests to retire, finally accepting Bruce as a supposed son-in-law. This show is average at best but needed something more to redeem itself. The first season being better than the second is a shocker, and the amount of cameos from other characters didn't help much either. Some episodes can be fillers or possibly a little boring to get through, and some character development of certain individuals can be abandoned or uninterested. However, the intros were dark, the animation can vary, and the voice acting by Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk is fierce enough. Therefore, The Incredible Hulk, the animated series, gets a C+/B-. Thanks for watching, give a like and subscribe for more animated series reviews, and stay tuned for the next episode.